It is a hot Thursday afternoon, and it's the final game of a 4-game set between the Sasquatch and the Spuds. The Sasquatch have taken 2 of the first 3 games, and now we'll see if they can finish off a series win against Casper coming up tonight. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the press box here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm Ari Wall. Well, the Sasquatch over these first 3 games of this series are outscoring the Spuds 30-22. The Spuds have 1 more home run. They have 5. The Sasquatch have 4. Of this series, it's Kyle Finn, and for the Casper Spuds, it's Dylan Schlotterbeck. Let's take a look at the season numbers for both of them. Dylan Schlotterbeck has 10 more games played, 51 RBIs for Schlotterbeck. That's most in the ILB. Kyle Finn's 40 RBIs are most on the Sasquatch team, and the home runs as well. Kyle Finn hit his 3rd home run of the summer yesterday. Dylan Schlotterbeck has 2. Both players will be key players to watch here today. Well, it's the Sasquatch and the Spuds game 4 of this series before the Sasquatch will finish out the summer against the Fremont Moo, and we'll have all the coverage for you right here tonight, 6:05, first pitch. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, and baseball here from Black Hills Energy Stadium. Spuds and Sasquatch is coming up after this.
Really? Could it? I'd rather it snowy over this? Oh, I prefer this over this. Yeah, but this is summer. Yeah, no, I prefer this any day.
Sasquatch, as our national anthem is performed tonight by Lori Redfield.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Getting ready to get set for baseball here. The Spuds and the Sasquatch in Game 4 of this 4-game series. And we'll take a look at the Casper Spuds starting lineup. It's a similar lineup to what we've seen so far. A lot of familiar faces. Cody Kloss, the DH, leads off for a 4th straight game in this series. Wesley Flatts, the second baseman, batting second. Kenny Jackson's in right field. He bats third, bumped up in the order. Josh Phillips stays cleaning up. Chase Burks in center field, bats fifth. Dylan Schlotterbeck highlighted him in the open. He's batting sixth. Chandler Stocking, Matt Marsick, and Parker Burt will round out the order for the Casper Spuds. And that lineup will be going against the starting pitcher for the Sasquatch today. It'll be Nathan Harb getting the start today. 19 2/3 innings pitched for Harb on the year. He's given up 17 runs, only 11 of them earned, so he'll carry a 5.03 ERA into today's start, a 1.73 whip. 18 strikeouts to 9 walks on the summer for Harb. Last time out for him was a start against the Oahe Zap. This is only his 4th start of the summer. And in that start on July 20th against the Zap, he ended up going 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. He did allow 7 hits, but he did not walk anybody and struck out 4. Was impressive for the most part last time out. And over his last 3 appearances for Harb, he's gone 7 innings, including that 1 start on the 20th. And in those 7 innings, only the 1 earned run allowed. So over those couple appearances, a 1.29 ERA for Harb. The DH, Cody Kloss, will come to bat from the left side of the plate. The right-hander, Nathan Harb, on the mound, and the first pitch of the ball game is chopped weakly towards Harb. He'll glove it and underhand over to first. 1 pitch and 1 out, and the leadoff man, Cody Kloss, is retired for the first out of the ball game. 104 degrees here at the ballpark, and it feels like it. Actually feels like 106 according to my phone. The umpires for today's game are Bill Hall and Corey Monroe. It has been hot all day long here at the ballpark, and so a 104 at first pitch. The hottest we've seen so far this summer. And the first pitch to Wesley Flatt is ball 1. Well, Harb making the start today. Sasquatch pitching staff, as we touched on briefly in the open, is a little bit banged up. Obviously, they've lost early in the year. Jackson Renz, Colin Anderson, and Easton Brooks, those 3 were part of the pitching staff and the starting rotation early on in the summer. And then after all 3 of them departed, Jordan Bowman has sort of moved into that starting rotation role, and it was him, Russell Peterson, Cade Bleeker, and sort of Luis De Los Santos and Nathan Harb splitting time, as this is in the air to left field, and Micah Wallett will come in. The ball's carrying towards the infield, and he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Harb in the inning. Right fielder Kenny Jackson will come to bat. We'll take a look at the Sasquatch defense. Wallette, Green, and Marcial, that's the outfield. The infield, third to first, is Bachman, Coleman, Gonzalez, and Finn. And it's Jake Dempsey, who's been splitting time with Nolan Ackerman this whole series, doing the catching of Nathan Harb. To finish the point there on the pitching side of things, Cade Bleeker, who started yesterday's game, that'll be the last appearance for Bleeker this summer, as an injury has ended his summer just before the end of things here in 2024. So of course we're hoping that he's going to be good to go in college and beyond this point, but it does hurt the Sasquatch down the stretch. We won't be able to see him in that series against Fremont to finish out the summer, which will be a big series either way. Sasquatch now have this game and then the 3 more against the Moo, and if the Sasquatch win 3 out of these last 4, they're in. They control their own destiny right now, as if the playoffs ended today, they'd be in. So all they've got to do is just keep winning 3 of these next 4, doesn't matter which 3. They would find themselves a spot in the playoffs. The Sodbusters hoping that both the Sasquatch and the Moo lose today to give them hope. And the Moo, of course, just hoping for a Sasquatch loss. 3 balls and a strike to the right fielder, Kenny Jackson, who's had himself a very nice series. Moved up from a little bit lower in the order, was batting 5th the past couple of games, but bumped up to the third spot. While Dylan Schlotterbeck has moved down in the order, he'll be batting 6th today. Full count here on Jackson. Harb trying to work a 3 up, 3 down, first inning. His 3-2. Hit on the ground, right side. Gonzalez will throw over to first, and it is a 3 up, 3 down. Top of the first for Nathan Harb. Efficient and effective. He sets down the Spuds in order, and as we head to the bottom of the first inning, the Sasquatch bats will come to the plate with no score.
And sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Harb does his job, and now the Sasquatch offense will try to put up the first run of the ball game. We'll take a look at the starting lineup. No Seth Nelson today. Ryan Bachman will lead things off. Ben Green bats second. Kyle Finn third, and Javier Marcial cleans up. Jordan Bowman is the DH with no Nelson. He's batting 5th. Micah Coleman will bat 6th. Jake Dempsey 7th. Matthew Gonzalez 8th. And Micah Wallett, with a home run last night, his first of the year, is back in the 9th spot in the order, and he will round out the Sasquatch lineup. That lineup will be taking on the starting pitcher for the Casper Spuds. It is Logan Lathrop, who will get the ball in Game 4 of this series. Right-hander Ryan Bachman will dig in. And Lathrop gets the bottom of the first underway as Bachman fouls this pitch off. Strike 1 to Bachman. Lathrop in 10 1/3 innings pitched this summer. Has a 1-0 record. He got the win in his last start, his first and only start so far this summer. He joined the Spuds in July, made his first appearance on July 2nd, where he gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning against the Zap. Since that point, 9 2/3 and only 1 earned run allowed. In that start against Bison Baseball, which came on the 17th, 5 innings pitched. He gave up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned, 4 strikeouts to 5 walks. So on the summer, in the limited 10 1/3 innings pitched, he's given up 8 walks, and he's only struck out 7. Opponents are batting .366 against him. So despite an ERA in good shape at 3.4 and 8, he's been hit pretty hard his first few times out. This is in the air to center. Easy play for the center fielder, Chase Burke. 1 away in the bottom of the first. Take a look at the defense behind Lathrop here today. The outfield, Matt Marsick's in left, Chase Burke in center, Kenny Jackson's in right. The infield, third to first, Schlotterbeck's at third, Stocking at short, Wesley Flatt and Josh Phillips on the right side of the infield, and then it's Parker Birch back doing the catching of Logan Lathrop. Bachman retired, and that brings up left-handed hitting center fielder Ben Green, and Green looks at ball 1. Green out of the lineup yesterday. He played the first 2 games of this series, batted second in both of those first 2 games, was good out of that 2 spot in the order. And last night, Wallett got the start in center. Another hard hit ball, but towards center field and into the glove of Chase Burke. 2 up and 2 down for Lathrop in the bottom of the first. 2 away, and that brings up Kyle Finn, the player we highlighted in our off-the-wall stats in the open here today. Finn and Schlotterbeck were the 2 players we highlighted, a side-by-side comparison of how good they've been this summer. Kyle Finn and Dylan Schlotterbeck both leading their respective teams in RBIs. Schlotterbeck leading the entire league in RBIs as Finn rips the first pitch foul. Finn hit his 3rd home run of the year yesterday. 3 for 5 effort for him, a couple of doubles and a home run, and now he's up to 18 extra base hits on the year. 3 of them left the yard. Curveball drops in there for strike 2. Count no balls and 2 strikes on Finn. .346 batting average on the year for Finn, but he's been better over his last 15 games, batting .400 in that stretch. No offer at the 0-2 pitch. 18 extra base hits, 40 RBIs, 40 runs scored, and all that coming in 33 games played, so this is his 34th. He's been occupying the 3rd spot in this order the entire series against Casper. 1-2 hit hard out to left center field. Going to be a long run for Marsick and Burke. Neither will get it. Gets down in the outfield. Finn hustling hard towards second. He dives in with a slide, and Kyle Finn has a 2-out double here in the bottom of the first inning to extend the inning. Take a look here at the key to the game for the Sasquatch, going with some Daft Punk one more time. Sasquatch will play the Casper Spuds one more time, and that's today here in the regular season. But of course, they're hoping this is not the last time that they face Casper and that they get a chance in the ILB Championship Series. Of course, also one more time, one more chance to get a win in this series. The Sasquatch have now won 3 out of 7 against the Spuds, and they are the only team in the ILB with 3 wins against Casper. Check swing, and he did go around, strike 1. Casper Spuds have been the best team in the league all year long. 3 losses to the Sasquatch. They've only lost twice to Hastings, twice to Fremont, once to Nebraska. So the Sasquatch have the most wins out of anybody against Casper this year. That's in the dirt, blocked by Burt. Finn will stay at second base. Burt, a good defensive catcher. We saw it on display a couple times. We've seen him behind the plate in this series. Makes a lot of good stops behind the dish. Limits the Sasquatch in terms of advancing on wild pitches. In terms of the stolen base battle, Sasquatch have done a good job shutting down the best running team in the league with over 160 stolen bases. Entering today, over 100 more than the Sasquatch have. Spuds have stolen 167 bags this year, while the Sasquatch entered today with only 62 on the summer. In terms of the stolen base battle, the Sasquatch are 5 of 5 in the first 3 games, check that, and Spuds are just 3 of 6. 1-2 to Marcial. He did go around, and that is strike 3 on Javier Marcial, and that'll end the first. Sasquatch get a 2-out double from Kyle Finn, but he's left stranded at second base. And after 1 inning of play, there's no score. Nathan Harbor, very efficient top of the first inning. He needed just 10 pitches, I should say. So he got 3 outs, did not allow a base runner. And now he'll face Josh Phillips, 4, 5, 6 in the order. Phillips, Burke, and Schlotterbeck. Harb's first pitch is just inside, ball 1. We want to apologize just a bit ahead of time in case you notice differences with our broadcast the rest of the way. It's very hot here at the ballpark, as we've talked about, and so there's a very good chance that we experience some technical difficulties. Already a few to this point, but right now we're getting through it, and hopefully we can continue to get through it. The count is quickly 3-0 to Phillips. It's also National Intern Day here at the ballpark, and it's also Christmas in July. But with it being National Intern Day, I want to already give a huge shout out to the entire intern staff behind the scenes, both on the broadcast side of things, but also at the ballpark side of things. Do such an amazing job, make this experience for all of you watching either at home or for the games you come in person, make it the experience that it is. We'll be shouting out the interns throughout the duration of today's broadcast, one by one, the 12, I believe, interns that we have on the staff. 4-pitch walk to Josh Phillips. Dangerous bat is issued a free pass on 4 pitches as Nathan Harp has begun his second inning of work. 5 straight balls as he misses to Chase Burke. Phillips, though you might not think of it because of his 10 home runs on the season, he's also a stolen base threat. He's 14 of 16 on stolen bases as Harb continues to miss the strike zone. He's fallen behind of Chase Burke, 2-0. Swinging after 6 straight balls. It's popped up right side. Long run for Finn. He's headed towards the bullpen. It goes into the bullpen. No play for Finn. Winds up as strike 1 in the at-bat, and the first strike from Harb in this inning. Chase Burke's put together a good summer. This will be his 43rd game played. And in those previous 42, .317 batting average for Burke, an OPS of .904. 12 extra base hits as well. That's low, and Dempsey able to block it. So already a free pass issued to Phillips. In danger of walking Chase Burke here with Dylan Schlotterbeck due up next. Grounded, left side. Bachman will glove it. They'll go to second. They get 1. The throw to first is dug out by Finn, but it's not in time. Burke runs well down the line, and he beats out the double play. He'll reach on a fielder's choice. Phillips is out at second. So Harb gets the first out of the inning, but still a base runner. And Dylan Schlotterbeck, third baseman today, will bat. Getting a start over at third with Chandler Stocking playing shortstop today for Casper. High, ball 1. Schlotterbeck has put together also a fantastic summer up and down this Casper lineup. Guys batting 300 pretty much everywhere you look, and Schlotterbeck is one of those. 315 batting average for him. 20 extra base hits on the summer. Runner goes, pitch is popped up and foul. Out of play for strike one. So 20 extra base hits in 56 hits for Schlotterbeck this summer. 2 of them home runs and 51 RBIs, as we've mentioned already. That is the most in the ILB. 51st RBI came last night against the Sasquatch. The Sasquatch ended up winning last night's game. A lot of runs put up by the Sasquatch. 13-9 the final. Pitches high, 2-1. Spuds were able to jump out early in yesterday's game. Parker Burt hit a grand slam in the top of the 4th inning that made it 6-1. Sasquatch would then score 12 unanswered runs from the 4th to the 6th inning. 3 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th, and 4 in the 6th, and ultimately hang on to win it. Schlotterbeck rips it into left field. Going back on it is Wallett. He's headed towards the track, and it's off the wall. Wallett will bring it into the infields. Burke will stop at third, and it'll be a double for Dylan Schlotterbeck. He just missed a homer by about 5 to 10 feet out in left fields. A double will put 2 in scoring position. Second and third for Chandler Stocking. So Harbin, his first bit of trouble after a 3-up, 3-down top of the 1st inning. In some trouble in the 2nd. Chandler Stocking, it's a bat. Sasquatch keeping the whole infield back with Stocking at the plate. First pitch, ball. Harb struggling a little bit more with command in this half inning. Good speed at third base in the form of Chase Burke. You saw it on that double. Thought about coming home for a second, but thought better of it. Inside, 2-0. Grounded towards short. Coleman will glove it and throw to first. He'll make the play and retire Stocking. Burke comes home to score. Schlotterbeck moves to third. RBI ground out for Chandler Stocking. Gets the first run of the game on the board. Burke scores the first run of the game. And Casper jumps out to a 1-0 lead. It is the second out of the inning as well, which means that Harb can get an out any way he can. Schlotterbeck would not score. Swing and a miss to Marsick. No balls and a strike. 8th spot in the order, Matt Marsick at the plate. Another bat that's been great this summer. Batting average just dipping below 300 at 298 now. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Good looking off-speed pitch there from Nathan Harb. Got Matt Marsick out in front of it. See if he tries the same thing here with 2 strikes. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He goes right with the fastball. Marsick chases upstairs, and a strikeout of Matt Marsick ends the inning. Spuds bring home the first run. RBI ground out for Chandler Stocking, and as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, it's a 1-0 Spuds lead.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Getting set for the bottom of the second inning. Logan Lathrop back on the mound. He worked a good top of the first, or bottom of the first. 1 inning pitched. He gave up just 1 hit. It was the double, 2-out double by Kyle Finn. Needed only 13 pitches, 9 of them strikes to get 3 outs of the Sasquatch in the bottom of the first. Now we head to the second with Bowman, Coleman, and Dempsey. 2 up against Lathrop. Ball 1. Spuds scoring first. The Sasquatch are a much better team when they score first. 22-5 as opposed to just 7-12. 22-5 when they score first, 7-12 when the other team scores first. Today, the latter of those two. But we already saw last night's game, a game where they did not score first, fell behind. They were able to come back and win it. 2-1 the count to Bowman. Bowman will probably see more time as a pitcher here down the stretch, especially if the Sasquatch make the playoffs with Cade Bleeker done for the summer. So be popped up and get out of play. 2-2 on Bowman. With his bat or with his ability as a pitcher, Bowman's put together a really good year. As a pitcher, ERA just under 5 and over 35 innings, and as a hitter, batting .337 entering today. Grounded left side, backhanded by Stocking. He has trouble with it, and the throw to first is late. Bowman will reach. That ball hit in the hole. Tough play there for Chandler Stocking, even if he gloves that cleanly and gets it across. Not sure he would have been able to get Bowman. They're going to score that one a hit. I think that's the right call. Jordan Bowman will lead off the second inning with a single. Base runner for Coleman. Want to know. Coleman's been seeing a lot of time at shortstop recently. No Danny Cook in the lineup for the entirety of this series as they've gone with an infield of Finn, Gonzalez, Coleman, and Bachman all 4 games. This one will get past Burt, go to the backstop. Bowman will advance on the wild pitch and he'll move into scoring position. Coleman, a .378 batting average this year, 27 games played for him. His on-base percentage is at .508, 23 walks in 27 games played. Over half of his at-bats are quality at-bats. 2-0 hit into center field. This ball is tailing away from Burkett's going to get past him, and the Sasquatch are going to tie up this ball game as Bowman will head home and score. Coleman into second base with a double. An RBI double for Micah Coleman. Sasquatch answer back immediately and tie this game up at 1. So despite being down early in this ball game, 1-0 lead for the Spuds, the Sasquatch answer back immediately with a run without recording it out. A single by Bowman, advanced on a wild pitch, and then an RBI double from Micah Coleman. Let's put this game back at a tie ball game. Head coach James Batten, head coach for the Spuds, will go out to talk with his pitcher. We haven't seen any shortage of this from the Casper Spuds over the first 4 games of this series. Any bit of trouble that Spuds pitching has gotten into, it's either a quick hook from Batten or he'll go out and talk with his pitcher. Lathrop hasn't worked a lot of innings this summer, so we'll see how long into this ball game head coach James Batten wants to let him go. After a really good first inning where he was in the strike zone a lot, in the second inning, the pitches that have been in the strike zone have been hit a little bit harder. So Jake Dempsey will come to bat after the mound visit. Runner on second with nobody out. Jake Dempsey and Nolan Ackerman have been the two Sasquatch catchers in this series. Ackerman got games 1 and 3 of the 4-game set. Dempsey game 2, and again here in game 4. And a first pitch is fouled off. Dempsey's been incredibly impressive as a catcher slash utility hitter in limited playing time. This will be his 11th game played. In his prior 10, he is 16 for 32, a batting average of .500. Hit his first home run of the year 2 nights ago in game 2 of this series. He did go around on 0-1, makes it an 0-2 count. He's got 20 RBIs in 10 games played. Dempsey's first appearance came as a pitcher, and after that, transitioned to being the utility man and the catcher, and finds himself as the backup to Nolan Ackerman. Hits this one on the ground to third, and it hit the lip of the grass, and it's going to get past Dylan Schlotterbeck and into left field. That's a lucky break there for the Sasquatch, as a matter of millimeters or inches over at third base results in a single instead of a ground out. That ball hit the lip of the grass on the inside part of it, and Schlotterbeck, expecting a higher hop, doesn't get one. It goes underneath his glove, squeaks past him. And now there'll be runners on the corners with nobody out still. And Matthew Gonzalez will come to bat. Gonzalez looks at ball one. Count is 1-0 to Gonzalez. A great day yesterday for Matthew Gonzalez. We spoke to him on the postgame show. His bat has been heating up at the right time. He was 3 for 4 yesterday with 4 RBIs and a run scored. Grounds this one towards short, a chance to turn 2. They'll get 1 at second, and they will turn 2. Coleman does come in to score, and the Sasquatch will take the lead, a 2-1 lead, but no RBI on the play as Gonzalez grounds into a 6-3 double play. 2 outs on the board now in the bottom of the second inning, but the Sasquatch answer back from a 1 run in the top of this inning from Casper. 2 runs and an early lead for the Sasquatch. 9th spot in the order, Michael Wallett. Get his first at-bat of the game. Strike 1. Wallett hit his first home run of the year last night in the bottom of the 4th inning. Answered back of the Parker Burke grand slam that came in the top of that frame. He hit one out to left field, and he knew it as soon as it left his bat. Gave it an emphatic bat slam, bat flip. In the air, center field. Burke will settle under it, barely has to move. He'll make the catch to end the inning. Sasquatch bring home 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave nobody stranded, and after 2 innings of play, they lead it 2-1.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
9-1-2 in the Casper order, Parker Burt, and then the top of the lineup, Cody Clausius and Wesley Flatt going up against Nathan Harb. First pitch strike to the 9-hole hitter, Parker Burt. Similarly to the job that Jake Dempsey has done, Parker Burt has had more games played behind the plate, but joined the team a little bit into the summer and has been incredible for the Spuds. What a luxury it is to have him in the 9th spot of your order, batting .340 on the year. His grand slam was his first home run of the year last night. 2-1. 16 hits, check that, 18 hits, 6 of them extra bases for Parker Burt this year. 16 RBIs and 13 runs scored. 3-0 on Burt. The 3-1 is down and in. The fastball misses for ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Parker Burt here begins the top of the 3rd inning. Nathan Harb has thrown 35 pitches, and only 14 of them have been strikes. It's the 2nd walk issued by him today. And another ball to Cody Clausius. He missed with the fastball high. Count 1-0. Try to switch cameras as soon as we can. Touched on the technical difficulties with the heat. Imagine that those are going to continue in some form, as another pitch is a strike. The fastball at the knees. Strike 1 to Cody Clausius. The count evens here at 1-1. Another fastball, this one low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Fastball in the dirt, Dempsey blocks it. It trickles towards the Sasquatch dugout. 3 balls and a strike to Clausius, in danger of walking back-to-back hitters here to begin this top of the 3rd. Parker Burt reached on a walk to begin this inning. He's at first. A 3-1 count. Gonzalez, the second baseman, comes over. A couple words with Harb ahead of this pitch. Clausius went after the first pitch of the ball game from Nathan Harb. He grounded it right back to the mound, and Harb threw him out at first base to get the first out of the game. A 3-1 to Clausius. The fastball's inside. Clausius dodges out of the way. Wouldn't have mattered, as it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Harb here in this 3rd inning. So runners on first and second, still nobody out. Wesley Flatt coming up. With the technical difficulties, we're going to change cameras on the fly. Well, not change cameras, but change views. Wesley Flatt plops this one up, headed towards short. Nathan Harb, the pitcher, will make the catch and put away Flatt. There is out number 1. Nathan Harb is not just a pitcher. He's also played a little bit of outfield, and he can swing the bat. His first at-bat of the year. When he came in a blowout ball game, he thought maybe he was just a pitcher, or at least maybe the other team thought that. He's not just a pitcher. He had a home run in his first at-bat of the year, a double in his next at-bat, played some left fields. He can swing the bat more than you'd think for a pitcher. So he counts 1-0 to Kenny Jackson. Clausius at first, Parker Burt at second, both reached on walks. Harb's 1-0. Jackson fouls it straight back. This is the heart of the lineup. That's the tough part to get through. Really, when start by leading things off with Clausius all the way down to Josh Phillips and having Schlotterbeck down there at 6. That's a lot of power and a lot of RBIs among those players. Dangerous bats. Kenny Jackson, a dangerous bat. The fastball is low, and Dempsey got a good bounce off the screen, but he couldn't get the handle on it in enough time to throw to either second or third. Both runners are going to advance on a wild pitch. Runners at second and third. 1 out in the inning and a 2-1 count. Jackson grounded out to second in the first inning. That was his first at-bat. Bachman playing a little in over at third. This is in the air, left field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Wallette. He ranges over towards the gap and cuts it off. Burt scores, Clausius scores. It's a 2-run RBI single for Kenny Jackson, who continues to have a fantastic series here in Spearfish. And with one swing of the bat, he puts the Spuds back in front. It's a 3-2 lead.
Now batting for the Spuds, number 39, Josh Phillips.
Spuds jump back out in front, 3-2. Here in the top of the third inning, Jackson a 2-run single. And Josh Phillips looks at ball one. Well, you can just see from Nathan Harb, every pitch he's battling command. 46 pitches, only 18 strikes. He's given up 2 hits and walked 3. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to Josh Phillips. Well, Phillips hit his 5th home run of the year against the Sasquatch. He's got 10 now on the summer. 1 away from DJ Van Atten's 11 mark, the most in ILB history. Phillips batting .300 against the Sasquatch. Continues to torment them this year. He walked on 4 pitches in the second inning, and the count's 3-0 here from Harb. See if he gets a strike or not. He does, and he goes after it. Fouls it off towards the Sasquatch dugout. That was a good pitch to hit there from Harb. Came right after him with a 3-0 fastball. Maybe got away with it a little bit, as Phillips doesn't do any damage with it. A 3-1. Again, grounded foul. Fastball came in on Phillips. See if they send Jackson here from first. Jackson is 17 of 17 on stolen bases. You got a full count with 1 out. And a guy you probably trust at the plate in Josh Phillips. Jackson doesn't go. Phillips hits it the opposite way. This ball's carrying. Going back on it is Wallette. He's on the track. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch about a step in front of the wall. And a long flyout off the bat of Josh Phillips is the second out. You could see off the bat, looked like it might have had a chance to get out. Didn't sound like a home run off the bat. Didn't really look like one, but with the power of Phillips, you can't underestimate how far that ball is going to carry. It did keep carrying, but the park holds it in just barely. 330 down the lines here, 400 to dead center. The first pitch is fouled away off the bat of Chase Burke. Burke in the second inning, after Phillips had walked, he grounded out to third and reached on a fielder's choice as they got Phillips at second, but couldn't double up. Speedy Chase Burke at first. As a result, Burke came around to score on the Dylan Schlotterbeck RBI double. 1-1 the count to the center fielder, Burke. 6 Spuds coming to the plate in the inning. 2 runs already in. Fastball misses, 2-1. Grounded towards short. Coleman gets a good hop, shovels to second, and Jackson is out. And that'll do it for the top of the third inning. 2 runs for Casper. They retake the lead, 3-2. Spuds in front as we head to the bottom of the third.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Here for whatever moves you.
Home for the newest games is at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, the Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Your home for the newest games.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time. I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
Ryan Bachman to lead off for the Sasquatch, now finding themselves trailing 3-2 the score. Top of the order to lead off here in the third. Bachman, Green, and Finn. First pitch from Logan Lathrop is fouled off, strike one. Bachman, his first time up, a hard fly out to center field. Sasquatch with 2 runs in the second inning. 4 hits to this point, and really a lot of hard contact, even the outs in that first inning. Flyouts by both Bachman and Green to center field were hit right off the barrel of the bat. Just resulted in outs as they were hit right at Chase Burke. So the count evens at 1-1 against Bachman. Got to look at the numbers for him on the season. .382 batting average. 1-2. Bachman's shown some power as well. 3 home runs. Mentioned DJ Van Atten has the most in Sasquatch history. Those all came in 1 year, but Bachman is tied with him. He's got 11 in his 4 years. If he hits a 12th, he'd be the franchise leader in that category as well. That's a nice defensive play by Stocking. The throw is high, and the tag is applied by Josh Phillips. What a nice, dazzling 6-3 out that is, as Chandler Stocking had to make that play in the hole. A good, strong throw across the diamond, a little bit too strong, but Josh Phillips makes up for it with a good tag of Ryan Bachman. Robs a leadoff base hit from Ryan Bachman and results in out number 1 instead. Center fielder Ben Green looks at ball 1 just outside. Green, as mentioned, to fly out to center field, but a hard hit ball. A lot of hard hit balls off the bat of Ben Green this summer. In the air, right center field, there's another hard hit ball, but this one will find some grass into right center field. Green will stop at first. A 1-out single for Ben Green gets the Sasquatch going here in the third. Green is a bat that's hit the Casper Spuds well this season. With that base hit, it's now 11 for 31 against the Spuds, batting over 300 against Casper. A pitching staff that's been able to shut down their opponents all year long. Kyle Finn comes to the plate and looks at ball 1. Against the Sasquatch, as mentioned, the Sasquatch have beaten the Spuds 3 times this year. The only team with 3 wins against the Spuds this summer. Kyle Finn grounds this pitch foul. Over the first 3 games of this series, Spuds pitchers have just 13 strikeouts of Sasquatch hitters, and they have 11 walks issued as well. And the Sasquatch jumped out with 30 runs in this 3-game span. And that is the second most runs that Casper's given up in a 3-game stretch all year. They gave up 33 runs against the Sodbusters from July 12th to 14th. And then the 30 runs and 4 home runs they've surrendered in this 3-game span. Ben Green tried to read Lathrop there and got a couple steps on him before he steps off. 4 home runs as well for the Sasquatch in this 3-game span. The Spuds have only given up 10 all year. 1-2, throw over to Green. He's back in ahead of the throw. 30 runs, a 357 team batting average for the Sasquatch in this stretch. And a really good job of two-strike hitting and limiting the strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Kyle Finn strikes out against Lathrop. That's the second strikeout of the game for Lathrop. 2 outs, and Green still aboard at first with Javier Marcial coming up. See if Green gets aggressive on the base pass. Looked like he was trying to time up Lathrop. Even leaned a little bit there right before the pickoff throw was made. Marcial with a base hit yesterday is now on a 9-game hitting streak, and he had more than just a base hit. He's also hit by a pitch twice and scored 2 runs. Throw over to first. Green is back in there safely. As the pitch missed to Marcial. 1-0 the count. Cleanup man in today's order, Javier Marcial, was batting 5th each of the first 3 games of this series. No Seth Nelson, though, at the top of the lineup. Ryan Bachman moving from the leadoff spot to the 4th spot. And then back to the leadoff spot here today. Good throw over there at first, but Green is back in there safely. Want to know the count to Marcial. Lathrop is trying to work through a 3rd inning. Give the Spuds a lead as they head to the 4th. Green takes off. The pitch is high. The throw down to second is way off line. Green can't find it. Now he does, but he's going to stay at second base. Green swipes second, and he'll move himself into scoring position with the stolen base. Green is now 8 of 10 on stolen bases this year. So a runner in scoring position for Marcial, a chance for him with 1 swing of the bat to tie this ball game. 2-0 is the count. Marcial takes in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes. Jordan Bowman, the DH, is due up next. Already a base hit for Bowman today. Still trying to deal with some technical difficulties behind the scenes, so that's why you're seeing what you're seeing right now. The inability to switch cameras. We're trying to give you the best look here as Stephen Hogenkamp, our video production intern, has transitioned over to our camera operator to some degree as he's operating our camera up here in the press box. Counts 3-1 on Marcial as the fastball on the outside corner. It's taken for strike 1. Fastball check swing, weakly hit towards Lathrop. He'll go off the mound and go to first. And that'll do it for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They threaten Green in scoring position, but do not score. And as we head to the 4th inning, the Spuds will lead it 3-2.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced. Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
First pitch strike to Dylan Schlotterbeck, 6, 7, and 8 in the Casper order. Schlotterbeck, Stocking, and Marsick. Going up against Nathan Harb, who's back out there for a 4th inning of work. 57 pitches now for Harb. Sasquatch have been a much better team when their starting pitcher gets through 5 innings. They've struggled when their starter does not. 14-3 in games where their pitcher goes at least 5, 15-14 in games where they do not. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. A beer batter strikeout as Nathan Harb goes down on strikes. Second strikeout of the game for Harb. And he needs just 3 pitches to do it. Good sign for a guy who's been throwing a lot of balls through the first 3 innings of this game. Inside and ball 1 to Stocking. Two 2-0. Stocking an RBI ground out in the 2nd inning, brought home Burke. That was the first run of the ball game. Ripped into center field. There's a base hit. 1 hop in front of Ben Green. 1 out single for Stocking. Productive day for him so far. No clean innings for either side to this point. In every inning, pitchers had to face at least 4 batters. Actually, check that. The very first inning of this ballgame, Nathan Harb actually worked a 3-up, 3-down inning. Since that point, no clean innings. Swing and a miss, Matt Marsick behind in the count, 0-1. Look at Marsick on the season, mentioned just below 300 now at 298 on the summer. Speed threat as well with 24 stolen bases. 1-1. Would be a big shutdown inning for Nathan Harb if he can get it here. What could be the last outing for him, as a starter at least. Two and 1. You'd imagine we're probably going to see Luis De Los Santos tomorrow, assuming he's 100% and good to go. Jordan Bowman might get the ball then in Game 2, which would leave Russell Peterson for Game 3. In big games to finish off the year against the Fremont Moo. Check in at first. Speaking of the Moo, we'll do our first little look around the ILB, give you a score update, what's going on. The Moo currently leading the Zap 9-4. That game's in the top of the 6th inning. And then the Sodbusters hosting the Nebraska Prospects. They currently lead that ball game 6-0. That game is in the 6th. So as it stands right now, if the Sasquatch want to remain where they are, holding the tiebreaker and that 2nd best record overall, they need to win today, assuming both of those games and how their trajectory looks like it will be, which is wins for the teams the Sasquatch don't want to win. Gonzalez throws this ball away on a ground ball hit right at him. He tried to get the out at second base rather than taking the sure out at first, and the usually sure-handed second baseman makes a mistake there. The error will not only allow Marsick to reach, but also allow Stocking to move to third. And it'll give the Spuds runners on the corners with just 1 man out. James Batten will talk briefly with the home plate umpire, not sure what about. Runners on the corners with 1 away, and Parker Burt coming up. Mention the speed at first for Marsick. In the dirt. Could see Marsick take off at some point in this at-bat. Marsick, one of the returners. Last year, he was the All-ILB hit leader. All-ILB team. He's 15 of 17 on stolen bases last year, and he's 24 of 25 in this year. 2-0 on the 9-hole hitter, Parker Burt. 9-hole hitter, but he hasn't swung the bat like a 9-hole hitter. 340 batting average with an OPS of 923. Another ball in the dirt. Marsick's going to advance to second base. So now it'll be second and third with just one away. It's Parker Burt and the Casper Spuds trying to grow this lead. Spuds scored first in the top of the second, led it 1-0. 2 runs for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the second, took a 2-1 lead before 2 runs in the top of the third. Made it 3-2. Harb on a 3-0 pitch finds the zone. It's back in the count, 3-1. Cody Clausius, the DH, on deck. Fouled away. So Harb fell behind in the count, 3-0, but now he's gotten back in at full. Chance to pick up a strikeout. Already one in this inning, that's the lone out. Strikeout of Dylan Schlotterbeck. Harb has 2 strikeouts today. Pitch is grounded up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Scoring easily is Stocking. The throw from Green is past Dempsey, and Marsick comes in to score as well. It'll be a 2-run single for Parker Burt, and the Spuds extend it to a 5-2 lead. So another big hit off the bat of Parker Burt, who's had a couple big hits in this series. Now to the 9th spot in the order, a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBIs already on the day for Parker Burt. 5-2 Casper lead in the top of the 4th inning. And Cody Clossie is coming up. First pitch high, 1-0. Looked like Harb is a little bit frustrated after that. Just the command has not been there for him today. 73 pitches and 33 strikes. Well over half of his pitches balls today. Sasquatch have stretching in the bullpen. Nobody throwing yet. Trying to get Harb through this 4th inning. Oh, 1. Ball and a strike. Ball and 2 strikes, actually. In the dirt. Cody Clausius, a ground out and a walk today. Scored a run in the 3rd. 2-2 is the count. In the air, left side, long run for Wallette. He's headed towards the line, now in front of the bullpen. He's not going to get it as it goes out of play. Bounces into the Casper bullpen along that left side. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Look at the arms the Sasquatch will have available out of the bullpen today. Elijah Bobo and Aiden Torpy. Torpy working 2 back-to-back days. Bobo, 63 pitches yesterday. Neither of those people should be available today. Very unlikely if we see either of those. Lofted again, left side. Another long run for Wallette. Going back on it's Coleman, and he makes the diving play. In foul territory, he makes the catch. That's a real nice defensive play by the shortstop, Micah Coleman. Gets the 2nd out of the inning and ends that at-bat of Cody Clausius. If he doesn't make that catch, Clausius would have gotten another chance at the plate as that ball was going foul, but great play by Coleman. Robs Clausius. 2 outs in the inning. Wesley Flat. That's high, knocked Flat down to the ground as he tried to get out of the way of it. And he's a little bit shaken up. He thinks that pitch hit him. It did not hit him. He was about to take off his elbow guard. Coach James Batten making sure that Flat is okay. Flat's motioning towards his helmet as if to say the pitch might have hit him, or maybe that he landed on the helmet. Dodged out of the way of that pitch, but count remains at 1-0. Fouled away, 1-1. Flat is 0 for 2 today. Yesterday's game, he was 0 for 5. Guy's batting over 300 this season, and a guy who's been killing the Sasquatch. A little bit quiet over these last 2 games as he grounds one towards short. Coleman will go to second, and they'll get the last out of the inning at second base. 2 more runs in for the Casper Spuds. Both come off the 2 RBI single off the bat of Parker Burt. And as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, it's a 5-2 Casper lead.
I want to shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
First pitch ball to Jordan Bowman. Check that. That's a strike. It's Bowman, Coleman, and Dempsey. 5, 6, 7 in the order. Bowman in the air, right center field. Long run for the right fielder Jackson. He's headed towards the gap. He makes the catch. 1 up and 1 down for Logan Lathrop. Still Lathrop out there here in this 4th inning. Pitching with a little bit more of a comfortable lead now. That was pitch number 45 of the ball game for Lathrop. 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. No walks and 2 strikeouts to this point. 1-0 on Coleman. Coleman, an RBI double, brought home Jordan Bowman. And then he came around to score on the Gonzalez double play. Grounded, left side, Schlotterbeck with a lot of time across the diamond, 2 away. Last 4 Sasquatch hitters have been set down by Logan Lathrop. Jackson Peters is the Sasquatch arm loosening in the bullpen. The day could be done for Nathan Harb after 4 innings. Here's Jake Dempsey, 1 for 1 today. He singled in the second. Mention how good Jake Dempsey's been this year. Take a look at the numbers for him in limited playing time. 500 batting average. It's been phenomenal. So he raised that with a base hit already today. Hit his first home run of the year in this series. Came in game 2 when he got the start behind the plate in the first inning as part of a 5-run frame. Sasquatch jumped out in front in that ball game off of Ty Volmer, an arm who'd been so good over the beginning part of the summer. Sasquatch lost game 1 of this series, 11-8. They were able to win game 2, 9-2 last night, 13-9 win. See what happens here in game 4 as Dempsey gets out in front of that pitch and pops it up on the infield. Who's going to get it? Josh Phillips is coming in from first, and he will make the catch to retire the side. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Logan Lathrop. And as we head to the 5th inning, still a 5-2 ball game.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
New pitcher into the ball game for the Sasquatch. It'll be Jackson Peters who will take over. We'll take a look at the numbers for Peters this summer. 16 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a 4.86 ERA. And he will get the ball here to be the first man out of the pen to replace Nathan Harb. He'll begin by facing Kenny Jackson. First pitch to Jackson, check swing, and he comes up empty. No balls and a strike. So you got to look at Peters' numbers. 16 2/3 innings pitched, the 4.86 ERA, 1.68 WHIP, 14 strikeouts to 8 walks. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Jackson, Phillips, and Burke, 3, 4, 5 in the order. Harb lasts just 4 innings, gives up 5 runs, 3 of them earned. And that will be the bullpen the rest of the way to try to lock this one down. Give the Sasquatch bats a chance to answer as Jackson gets into one to left center field. It's a long run for Green. He dives and he can't make the play as Jackson will head into second base with a double. Ball tailing away from the center fielder, Ben Green, and he can't make the play on a diving effort. Kenny Jackson now has a 2 RBI single to go along with a double. He's 2 for 3 today. And he leads off the top of the 5th inning with a base hit. Comes Josh Phillips. Phillips walked in the 2nd inning and he flew out to left field in the 3rd inning. A long fly out on the opposite fields. Michael Wallett made the catch on the warning track off the bat of Phillips, who's 0 for 1 today. Fastball is fouled away. Strike 1. So that got over top the screen. Headed towards the fans over at the concession stand. Another good crowd here at the ballpark. Christmas in July, also National Intern Day. Assuming technology cooperates in the back portion of this game, we'll shout out each of our interns one by one with some graphics that we've made to highlight them. The 0-1 is on the corner, 0-2. That's the spot for Jackson Peters that he likes to hit. Usually it's to the righties. The fastball with two-seam movement comes in on the hands of right-handed batters and generates a lot of either swings and misses or weak contact. Sometimes that pitch gets away from him, and he ends up hitting right-handed batters. Leads to some walks and hit by pitches that he's had this year. He tries to go to that spot. And there you see it end up in that right-handed batter's box. Sidearm delivery as well. One of a few back-end pitchers that have sidearm motions. Andrew Argenziano had one as well before he departed from the team. Aiden Torpy, of course, most notably, with the sidearm delivery. 1-2, tries to go to that corner, and he just missed it. To even the count here on Phillips. Of course, a dangerous bat, as we've stressed so many times in this series. But the great thing about this Casper order, the reason why they're 38-8, is that you can't just walk Phillips and have another guy beat you, because the other guys will beat you. Up and down this lineup, they'll beat you with any spot in the order. Even the guys not playing today come in on a pinch and get big hits. Phillips to the opposite field again. This is going to get over Wallet's head and one hop the wall out in left field. Jackson will score. Phillips into second base. He'll swap places and bring home Kenny Jackson with an RBI double. Extends the Casper lead. It's now 6-2. So Peters is coming to the ball game. The first 2 batters he's faced, both doubles. And now Chase Burke, who is 0 for 2 today. Grounds it towards short. Coleman charging in on it, has to hurry, and he can't make the play. Burke's got great speed hustling down the line. That's a tough play. He knew he had to hurry, and he tried to, but just couldn't get it out of his glove and to his hand in enough time. We'll see how they officially score that. Burke will reach. Phillips at third. Runners on the corner, still nobody out. Burke takes off. The pitch hits Schlotterbeck in the helmet. Well, I mentioned that the fastball can get away from Peters from time to time. That's that two-seam motion, and as a right-handed batter, that's so dangerous and scary as that pitch is heat-seeking towards you. There's nowhere you can go. It's tailing right into your body. You hope it's into your side, but in that case, it hits the helmet of Schlotterbeck. He's all right, able to bounce right back up, and he's over at first. So the first 4 have reached here against Jackson Peters. We're in the top of the 5th inning. The bases are loaded, and it's already a 4-run Casper lead. Chandler Stocking looks at strike 1. Bases full of Spuds. Phillips at third, Burke at second, and Schlotterbeck is at first. Stocking an RBI ground out in the second. Singleton scored a run in the fourth. Outside 1-1. Stocking's already played a good shortstop today as well. Made some good defensive plays in the fields. Robbed Ryan Bachman of a hit in the top of the third inning, bottom of the third inning. Two and one. So the Spuds threatening to put up a big crooked number here in this fifth inning and take a big advantage in the middle part of this game. They used a big middle frame against Julio Romero to get the win in the first game of this series. And the count now 3 balls and a strike. With Chandler Stocking at the plate and nowhere to put him, Matt Marsick due up next. Three and one, Jackson Peters. His pitch, swing and a miss, full count to Stocking. Peters has shown some swing and miss stuff, 14 strikeouts and 16 2/3 entering today, and he's been really good over his past few outings before he faced the Zap on the 20th, gave up a couple runs on July 20th, but before that, he'd gone 10 2/3 with only 1 earned run allowed. A full count pitch. Hit in the air, right center field. That's going to get down. Marciali cut it off. Phillips will score. Burke behind him. He'll score. The throw comes all the way into third. It gets over the head of Bachman. 2 runs in on the RBI double from Chandler Stocking. Schlotterbeck ends up at third, and it's an 8-6 Casper lead. Now you figured you weren't going to shut down this Casper offense all series long. 9 runs last night. Got 8 today as we're still in the top of the 5th inning, and there is still nobody out. Runners on second and third as Matt Marsick takes ball 1. Eighth spot in the order, Marsick struck out in the second inning, reached on an error, and scored a run in the fourth. One and one. One and two after the foul ball from Marsick. That's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. See mostly just fastballs here from Peters, at least it looks like it. Seems to be everything fast out of his hands. 3 hits in the inning, an error and a hit by pitch have brought home 3 Spuds runs, with 2 more standing in scoring position. In the air, left side. Bachman towards the Casper dugout. It'll stay in play, and he makes the catch. A big pop out. Keep the runners where they are. First out of the inning and no advancements. Schlotterbeck and Stocking will stay put at third and second respectively. Brings up the dangerous 9-hole hitter, Parker Birch. 1 for 1 today, 2 RBIs and a run scored. A walk in the third, his 2-run single in the fourth. Burt fouls this pitch off towards the Sasquatch dugout. Long half inning for Peters. He's now thrown 22 pitches. Inside. Burt is the 7th Spud to bat in the inning. Finds the corner, 1-2, the count to the catcher. Sodbusters currently beating the Prospects 10-0. That game's in the bottom of the 8th inning, so Hastings is 3 outs away from locking down that win at home. Their playoff push continues. Meanwhile, the Fremont move out in front of the Oahe Zap. 11-5 is the score in that ball game. If the Sasquatch lose today, they still have a good shot of making the playoffs, but they'll have to beat the Fremont Moo, win 2 out of 3 in that series at the minimum. On the corner, strike 3. And Parker Burt is down on strikes looking. And so Peters has a chance to limit the damage here. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Now 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. Back-to-back outs from Peters. And back to the top of the lineup as Cody Clausius digs back in. No balls and a strike to Clausius. On base once today. It was his walk in the 3rd inning. In the 4th, he popped out to Micah Coleman on a real nice play. Diving grab in foul territory on the left side. 0-2. Peters has battled back nicely, and all things considered, after the first 5 Spuds have reached in this inning, if Peters can get out of this with just the 3 runs allowed, figure 2 runs on the board for the Sasquatch, chasing 8. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but they'll need good pitching on the back end of this game. Missed there, 1-2. If Clausius can reach Wesley Flatt, would be the 9th Spud to come to the plate. Casper could bat through the lineup here in this inning. Crowd will try to cheer on Jackson Peters here to finish off the inning. And he will, as he strikes out Parker Burt looking. Back-to-back strikeouts looking to end the inning. Spuds do bring home 3 runs, but Jackson Peters limits the damage. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Sasquatch will try to answer back, now trailing by 6.
Dr. Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Matthew Gonzalez will lead off for the Sasquatch here in the bottom of the 5th. 8-9-1, Gonzalez, Wallet, and Bachman. Logan Lathrop has settled in nicely. First pitch swinging, and a pop up to second base right towards the bag. Gonzalez is retired for the first out here in the inning. 6 straight set down by Lathrop. Retired the final 2 in the 3rd. 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. And Gonzalez on 1 pitch pops out. Like to see the Sasquatch put together a long inning here with Peters having a long inning himself on the mound. Want to give him some time to rest in the dugout. Maybe scratch across a run or 2 in the frame as Wallett dodges out of the way of that pitch. Looked like it might have been able to catch him on the leg if he stayed put, but the reflexes kick in as they always do. 1-0 to the 9-hole hitter. Foul tipped. And this one caught Parker Burt on the arm. Well, he reached out with that glove hand, expecting the pitch to either be swung and missed, and he tried to get his glove in position to catch that baseball. And it looked like it caught him right on that forearm or left arm. Burt is going to be able to stay in this ball game. Couldn't tell from our vantage point up here where it hit, but looking at the center field camera, a little bit delayed. Looked like that's where it caught him, but he's going to be all right and stay in this ball game. Foul ball is strike 1, so an even count on Wallett. Fouled away. Wallett hit it well his first time up in the 2nd inning. He flew out to left center field. Lathrop's pitch count in really good shape. He's only thrown 56. That's high. The way he's throwing and the way he's settled in here in this 3rd or post-3rd inning, could definitely see him back out there for the 6th. Wallett hits it hard to short, gloved by Stocking. Long throw in time. Another really nice defensive play by the shortstop Chandler Stocking. That retires Micah Wallett for the 2nd out. Sasquatch will have to start chipping away here at this deficit at some point. Trailing by 6. And as we approach the mid to later part of this ball game, the Sasquatch will need to start scratching across a few at a time to give themselves a chance to rally in the 8th or 9th innings perhaps of this one. Thanks to some cloud cover, hasn't been as hot here at the ballpark as maybe we thought it was going to be. Says it's 97 out right now, but it feels a little bit cooler than that. Grounded towards short, Stocking makes the final out of the inning. That's 8 straight Sasquatch hitters that have been retired by Logan Lathrop. So he has worked efficiently through these last 2 frames. And after 5 innings of play, we head to the 6th inning. Score remains 8-2.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
Dawson Baracani will pinch hit and lead off here in the top of the 6th inning. Baracani, Jackson, and Phillips. Baracani replaces Wesley Flat. First pitch is in there for a strike. Baracani will probably stay in and play second base. That's where Wesley Flat was playing before this. Oh, 2. Baracani in 27 games played, 269 batting average for him. 25 hits, only 3 of them extra base hits. He's driven in 10, and he scored 20 runs. Peters will hope for a bounce back inning. He faced 8 Spuds the inning prior. This is going to get fair just inside the right field line off the bat of Baracani. He slips rounding first, and he's going to have to stop right there as he tried to take the turn over around first, and he tripped and fell. Looked like the way he was running, he was going to try to test the arm of Javier Marcial, but no chance to do that. It'll be a leadoff single for Baracani against Peters. So Peters has now faced 9 batters. He's given up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 strikeouts, no walks, but a hit by pitch as well. 1 runner reaching on an error. That was Chase Burke. In the air left field, that's down for a hit in front of Micah Wallette, who has trouble with it, lost it, and that's going to allow Baracani to go to third. A single by Jackson, what looked like was going to be first and second. Micah Wallette had that ball skip up on him a little bit. That's going to allow Baracani to advance an extra 90 feet. He'll be at third. Runners on the corners here for the Spuds. Comes Josh Phillips here in the top of the 6th inning, and an inning where the Casper Spuds can score a couple more runs, maybe put this game close to out of reach. 1-0. Phillips is 1 for 2 today. He walked in the 2nd inning. RBI double in the 5th. Came around to score as well. Hits this one out to center field. Green is going back, headed towards the track. It's over his head and up against the wall. Jackson got a great read off of it. He's going to stop at third base. Looked like he probably could have come around to score on that play as he got the stop sign over at third. No reason to risk making the first out of the inning at home plate. RBI double, 2nd of the game for Josh Phillips, and it's a 9-2 Casper advantage. Dawson Baracani came home to score on the play. Phillips will be at second. Kenny Jackson will be at third. Here comes the center fielder, Chase Burke. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Burke. Burke's reached base 2 relatively unconventional ways, a fielder's choice and an error. Came around to score in both of those at-bats. Those were in the 2nd and 5th. Right fields, long run from Marcial. It's headed towards the line. It's going to drop in fair territory and head all the way to the wall. Jackson scores. Phillips scores. Headed for third is Burke. He's in there standing up. 2 RBI triple for Chase Burke. Another 3 more runs in this half inning. And the Spuds have an 11-2 lead, or 10-2 lead. Check that. No, it is 11-2. Burke will be at third. And Schlotterbeck is hit by a pitch. Jackson Peters has hit Schlotterbeck twice, first of which in the head and this time on the arm. Has not been the outing that Justice Scott, the head coach, or Julio Romero envisioned today. Yet to record an out in this half inning. The first 5 Spuds have reached, just like they did in the 5th. That's a ball. And now they might have him hung up at third. They do. Chase Burke tried to advance on the throw that he thought was coming to second base, and they're going to tag out Burke for the first out of the inning. That's all credit to Jake Dempsey behind the plate as he faked the throw down to second base and then was able to get the out of Chase Burke, who thought that the throw was going down to second base and that he was going to come home to score on the play. Schlotterbeck does advance to second base on the stolen base, but a base running mistake by Chase Burke results in the first out of the inning. One away, a count 1-0 to Chandler Stocking with one in scoring position. 2-0. Stocking 2 for 3. Single and a double, 3 RBIs and a run scored. Also, perfect defense at short. Runner goes, pitches inside, throw down to third, short hops Bachman. It pops up in the air, and Schlotterbeck will stay put at third base. 2 stolen bases in the inning for Dylan Schlotterbeck, who's now 26 of 27 on stolen base attempts this season. We knew the Casper Spuds like to run. Dylan Schlotterbeck is one of those. The only time he's been caught stealing was 2 days ago against the Sasquatch, when he was caught stealing in the first inning of that ball game. Blooped, shallow center. Gonzalez will make the play from second. That'll hold Schlotterbeck at third base. Two outs, Schlotterbeck at third, and Matt Marsick will come to the plate. 6 runs off of Jackson Peters in an inning and 2/3. Grounded to third. Bachman plays it on a couple hops. The throw to first gets Marsick. 3 more runs for Casper in the 6th. 11-2. Headed to the bottom half. Ben Green looks at strike 1 Green, Finn, and Marcial here in the bottom half of the 6th. 8 straight retired by Logan Lathrop, who is still out there on the mound. 62 pitches, 41 strikes for Lathrop. Casper has not been shy about letting their pitchers go deep into ball games. Lathrop could continue deep into this one with his pitch count in good shape. Could easily work his way through the 6th and perhaps even the 7th as well. Two and two. Lined, base hit. Lathrop almost got his glove to that baseball as it whizzed past his face. A single for Ben Green. And that is how the Sasquatch will begin this bottom of the 6th. Here's Kyle Finn. He doubled in the 1st and struck out in the 3rd. 1 for 2 day for Finn. 11 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Spuds to this point. 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors for the Sasquatch. Sun peeking through on the first base line before it'll ultimately set in about a half an hour. Two and 0. Seen the Sasquatch come from behind a lot this summer. This would be an amazing comeback if they could do it, trailing by 9 against the best team in the league in a much-needed win. See if they can get the job done and start chipping away in this half inning, as they look like they just might, as Kyle Finn rips one into left field. Ben Green is headed towards 3rd. He's going to be held right there. A single and a double. First by Green, then Kyle Finn, an extra base hit as he's done so many times this year. And the Sasquatch have something going against Lathrop here in this half of the 6th. 2 on with nobody out. Javier Marcial coming to the plate. But first, the mound visit. As I touched on earlier, usually only takes about 2 batters before head coach James Batten will go out to the mound and talk something over with his pitcher. He'll do that right here. Green at 3rd and Kyle Finn at 2nd. Javier Marcial will be due up next. Sasquatch can put up a crooked number in this half inning. They'd make things a lot more manageable in the final 3 frames. Of course, without Bobo and Torpy, see who they decide to go to on the back end to try to lock this down and hold the Spuds at 11 runs. The offense came alive against Jackson Peters. 3 runs in the 5th and 3 runs in the 6th off of Peters. And despite the umpire being out there to break up that mound visit, head coach James Batten continued to talk deep into that mound visit. Finally, it is done. He'll head back to the dugout. Casper Spuds do have an arm loosening in the bullpen. It's Ty Volmer, who's worked primarily in starting roles. Had a very short outing in that game. He got roughed up against the Sasquatch, where he gave up 6 earned runs, tied the most he'd given up in the entire 39 2/3 innings pitched he'd given up to that point. So the Sasquatch maybe a chance at a rematch with Volmer in this half inning, as Lathrop will have to get through Marcial. First pitch taken for a strike from Marcial, 0-1. Over 2 day for Javier Marcial. Carries a 9-game hitting streak into today. Looks at ball 1. Marcial's been on fire since the calendar month flipped over to June 1st. Hitless in May, but since that point, he's batted over 300. He's raised his season batting average to 282. Batted 341 in June. Batting over 300 as well in July. 2 home runs on the season as well. And the count is 2-1. Lathrop frustrated on the mound. 71 pitches for Lathrop. And his first bit of trouble since the second inning. This one gets a piece of Marcial, and the bases will be loaded. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the DH Jordan Bowman is coming to the plate. One swing of the bat could cut this Casper lead in half, and we won't get to see him swing the bat against Logan Lathrop. After 3 really good innings of work, the third, fourth, and fifth, where Lathrop looked just about untouchable. Touched up here in this bottom of the 6th inning. The day done for him. James Batten goes to Ty Volmer, and he'll inherit the bases loaded when we come back.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Ty Volmer will get the ball here in this bottom of the 6th inning after a few really good innings of work from Logan Lathrop. Ty Volmer will get an opportunity at revenge against the Sasquatch. We'll talk about what he did a couple nights ago after this first pitch to Bowman. He inherits the bases loaded with Green at third, Finn at second, and Marcial at first. Well, time is called as Volmer took his time to find the right sign, so we can talk a little bit about it now. July 23rd, 2 nights ago, he got the start against the Sasquatch. An inning and a third, he gave up 6 runs, all of them earned. Misses badly on the first pitch, 1-0. To that point, before that, he had only given up 6 earned runs all year and 8 total runs. His ERA sat at 1.361. It jumped up to 2.63 after that. Gave up 6 hits, walked 2, and only struck out 1. This is just the 3rd time Volmer's coming out of the bullpen this year. He'd started 6 or 7 games before that point. This ball gets back to the screen, and a wild pitch will allow Ben Green to come home to score. Finn advances to third, Marcial to second. Everybody moves up on the wild pitch, and the Sasquatch inch a little closer. It's now 11-3. Volmer, once a Sasquatch himself, pitched for this team a couple years ago. Transitioned over to the Spuds. Had put together a great year and still really is a great year. But a little bit worse because of that outing a couple nights ago, and the Sasquatch would love to get to him again. He's fallen behind of Jordan Bowman 3-0. Micah Coleman is due up next, and all of a sudden in this bottom of the 6th inning, don't go anywhere yet. The Sasquatch have some life. That is on the corner. 3 balls and a strike to Bowman. Bowman a single today. That was in the 2nd inning. He scored the very first run of the game for the Sasquatch. They had 2 runs in the 2nd inning, didn't score until just now. Their 3rd run of the ball game. On a 3-1. Bowman swings and misses, full count. Vollmer's not a big strikeout guy. He only had 26 strikeouts and 41 innings pitched entering today. Struck out 7 in a start against the Hastings Sodbusters, but other than that, in starts hovers around 4 to 5 strikeouts per game. Grounded, first base line, and that is a foul ball. Just foul over at first. Bounced maybe a foot, if that, to the right of that first base bag. Would have resulted in 2 runs coming home to score and Bowman potentially getting extra bases. And that is a tough break there for the Sasquatch, as that looked good off the bat with Josh Phillips heavily shaded towards second base. The outfield as well shaded Bowman to the pole side very heavily. He almost got away with one off the end of the bat. Instead, a full count pitch is hit in the air a mile high on the infields. Josh Phillips over at the first base side. He'll make the catch, and that is the first out. Two runners out there are the responsibility of Logan Lathrop, but we can tell you what he did outside of the exact number of runs that he might give up today. In 5 innings pitched, he threw 72 pitches. He gave up 7 hits and struck out 2. Did not walk anybody. 3 runs, but that could change to 4 or 5 with the 2 out in scoring position. As Micah Coleman looks at ball 1. Coleman enters today with a .378 batting average, has raised it a little already with an RBI double and a ground out, 1 for 2 today for the shortstop. Looks at a curveball for strike 1. Coleman's been one of the better hitters as well with runners in scoring position. He's batting .372 with runners in scoring position. He's driven in 25 runs before today in 27 games played. So now he's driven in 26 in 28. 1-1 into center field, and that's going to get past Dylan Schlotterbeck. Scoring from third is Kyle Finn, and Micah Coleman has RBI number 27 on the season. RBI number 2 today. And it's an 11-4 ball game as Kyle Finn comes home to score on the Micah Coleman RBI single. Well, I know Micah Coleman's parents are here in person, getting a chance to watch him for the first time this summer. And they've gotten to see him play pretty well over the first 3 and now 4 games of this series. 2 runs in for the Sasquatch. Javier Marcial at third with Coleman at first and Jake Dempsey at the plate. Dempsey, a curveball drops in there for strike 1. Well, Vollmer is leaving that curveball out over the heart of the plate, and he's catching Sasquatch hitters off guard with it. You've got to respect the fastball in the low 90s out of the hands of Vollmer. But if that curveball is left hanging, a guy like Jake Dempsey could certainly take advantage of it. Hit his first home run of the summer a couple days ago. We've talked already about how good of a bat Jake Dempsey has been, catapulting himself into the backup role behind Nolan Ackerman as the second-string catcher. Fouls this pitch off. How much of a luxury it is to have a guy like Jake Dempsey batting .500 and Nolan Ackerman batting above .400 at .491. Those are your 2 primary catchers. Combine the 2 of them with Dempsey's hit today, you've got essentially a .500 batting average from your backstop no matter who you put out there. 1-2, swing and a miss. Dempsey down on strikes. That's a huge second out of the inning. As Ty Vollmer gets Dempsey to chase the fastball high. That'll keep runners at the corners, and it'll leave it up to Matthew Gonzalez to try to get a clutch hit and inch the Sasquatch a little bit closer in this ball game. Already 2 runs in the frame. Cut it down to just a 7-run lead for the Spuds. Gonzalez into left field, but right at Marsick. Barely had to move Gonzalez. Another well-hit ball into the outfield, but it's out number 3, and that'll end the threat in the 4th. The Sasquatch tack on a few, get a little bit closer, and as we head to the 7th inning, it's a 7-run game.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever, getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Jackson Peters' day is done. He goes just 2 innings, gives up 6 runs, and now they'll go to Julio Romero to take over. Romero will make a second outing in a row against these Casper Spuds. The numbers for him on the season: 16 2/3 innings pitched. ERA sits at 7.02, a whip of 1.92. 13 strikeouts to 12 walks on the year. He's also hit 7 batters. And in his last time out against the Casper Spuds on July 22nd, a few days ago, game 1 of this series, the only game to this point that Casper had won in this 4-game set. Romero pitched just 1 inning. He gave up 3 runs, all of them earned, and he walked 4 Spuds hitters, only struck out 1. Battled command issues in that first appearance. We'll see if he can fare a little bit better here in the top of the 7th inning. This would be a big half inning for Romero to shut down the Spuds. After they get a little bit of momentum, the Sasquatch do. In the bottom of the 7th inning, they bring home 2 runs, officially closing the book on Logan Lathrop. All 4 of those runs his responsibility. If Romero can shut down the Spuds here in the 7th, then you'd have 9-1-2 in the order due up in your bottom half of the frame. Maybe a chance to get back in this ball game. Parker Burt, his day is done. Maddox Henderson will pinch hit here to lead things off, and he looks at ball 1. You wonder if maybe some of that has to do with the foul ball that Burt took off his hand. Henderson, the backup catcher. Seen him already in this series. He'll take over from Burt, who'd had a good day to this point. He was 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. There's a strike. Look at the numbers for Henderson on the season. He joined the team in late June. Struggled at the plate so far. 12 games played, batting just under 200. Only 4 hits on the year. One and 2 on Henderson. The top of the order, Clausius, followed by Dawson Barakani, who came in to pinch hit for Wesley Flatt, and then moved over to play third. Shuffled the infield around, the Spuds did, after Barakani came in. Popped up on the infield. Who's going to get it? It's right towards the mound. Who's going to get it? It's the shortstop, Coleman, who comes all the way over to make the catch. Romero looked for a second like he was going to have to be the one to make the play. Gonzalez wanted to give way. who's on the right side of second base, but Coleman comes all the way over to retire Henderson, and there is out number 1. Clausius comes up empty on a first pitch fastball. Back to the top of the lineup we go, and Cody Clausius, who's done a really nice job taking over from Elijah Reeves, who'd been occupying the leadoff spot. See how good he's been, with Reeves potentially done for the summer, but at least been out for a while with that ankle injury. Sasquatch have had, or pardon me, the Spuds have had to replace his bat in the lineup, and they've done so in a big way with other guys coming in, stepping up, having better months of July, and continued an amazing year for Casper, who could very well end with 40 or more wins. They've got 38 right now. For them, they're hoping this is win number 39, and either a win today or perhaps a win tomorrow, I'm not sure the exact math, would lock down the best record in the second half of the year, which would guarantee that whoever faces them in the playoffs would be determined by overall record as opposed to second half record. Casper could win the first half and the second half, and only a few games away from clinching that. The 2-2 to Clausius is high. Dawson Barricani due up next. Grounded to third. Bachman gobbles it up. Clausius is retired. 2 outs. Two away, and Dawson Barricani coming up. This is the only game going on now in the ILB, as the Hastings Sodbusters have defeated the Prospects 10-2, and the Fremont Moo have defeated the Zap 13-5. So you look around the ILB now in terms of the standings. The Fremont Moo a half game ahead of the Sasquatch at this point. If the Sasquatch lose today, as their strike 1 to Barricani. Sasquatch lose today, then the Moo would have to win 2 out of 3 to get the best spot. Sasquatch would have to win 2 out of 3 to leapfrog them and advance into the playoffs. And there's in strike 2 to Barricani. Meanwhile, you've got the Hastings Sodbusters, who are hoping to continue to win all 3, and I'm not sure what kind of help they would need to get into the playoffs. Perhaps a tiebreaker on the last day of the season. Barricani flies out to right. A much better outing today for Julio Romero as he sets down the Casper Spuds in order in the top of the 7th inning, and now it's stretch time here at the ballpark with the Spuds leading by 7.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
In Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Bryce Hudenich will take over here from Ty Volmer. Volmer ends up just going the 1 inning. Take a look at what Hudenich has done this year. 16 innings pitched, a 1-0 record, 6.19 ERA, 19 strikeouts to 11 walks. Opponents are batting .250 against him. He'll start by facing off against the 9th spot in the order, Micah Wallett, before going back to the top with Bachman and Green. First pitch strike to Wallett, count 0-1. We mentioned briefly about the playoffs. Give you a little bit of a rundown here of how the math will work the rest of the way if the Sasquatch lose this ball game, what the scenarios are for each of the 3 teams to make the playoffs. So the count's 1-1. So the Sasquatch, if they lose this game, would have to sweep the Moo in order to get in. The Fremont Moo would have to win 2 out of 3 to make the playoffs, and the Sodbusters would have to win the next 3 games and have the Sasquatch win 2. I believe that math is correct. I could be wrong. But with the Sasquatch losing today, they'd have to win 3 more down the stretch in order to leapfrog the Moo. Actually, that could be wrong. I think the Sasquatch actually would only have to win 2 down the stretch in order to leapfrog the Moo. The count goes to 2-2. Well, I encourage you to try to work out the math. It's a little bit harder because the wins are not going to line up. The Sasquatch can end the season with 1 less win than Fremont and than Hastings and still make the playoffs because of win percentage tiebreaker, because they had the 2 games rained out. So it's a little harder to calculate than it would be if they had the exact same number of games. Bryce Hudenich thought he had strike 3 there on the fastball in the corner. Instead, the count goes full on Wallett. Wallett's 0 for 2 today. Sasquatch would love to start a rally here in the inning. Spuds already have action in their bullpen, as we saw last night. James Batten will be happy to go to the bullpen after maybe only 2 batters with his pitchers. Wallett flies this in the air to center. Burke started back, now he's trying to find it, and he makes the catch in center. 1 away. Back to the top of the lineup, and Ryan Bachman, who's 0 for 3 today. This is game number 39 of the year for Ryan Bachman. He's hit safely in 32 of 39. Hasn't been on base yet today. He's been on base in every game he's played in one way or another. Trying to keep that alive here today. And what could be mathematically his last at-bat. Sasquatch hoping they can give him 1 more in the 8th or 9th. 0-2. Just high. Bachman, as mentioned, hits in 32 of 38. He had a 23-game hitting streak that ended just a couple days ago, about a week ago now at this point, July 18th against the Zap. He was batting .443 over that 23-game span. Batting average raised all the way up to .382, which is where it was entering today. Now a full count to the leadoff man. Of course, year number 4 for Bachman. His final year with the Sasquatch. Would love to end it off with an ILB championship. Would be the first in Sasquatch history if they can bring a title to Spearfish. Spuds are looking for revenge after a loss to the Moo in the championship last year. A full count pitch from Hudanich is in there, strike 3. Bachman upset. Didn't think that was in there, and he will walk back to the dugout angrily after striking out for out number 2. Frustrating day for him, 0 for 4. Sasquatch as a team, frustrating day. Trailing 11-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. 4 runs, only 8 hits. 2 up and 2 down for Hudanich. He'll now face Ben Green. Strike 1 at the top of the zone. Well, we're seeing the top of the zone get called for strikes as this game has gone on. Oh, and 2. Green, another guy that had a big hitting streak, 16-game hitting streak, which ended back on June 29th. Since then, in 10 games played, .351 batting average. He's been just as good after that point. Another guy who's been on base every game, now in all 29. On base today already twice with a couple of singles. He's hit the Casper Spuds really well. 2 more hits today, 2 for 3. Make him 12 for 32 against the Spuds, batting over .300. Right back up the middle. Hudanich gets out of the way of it, and he'll get through the infields. 2-out single for Ben Green. And that'll bring up Kyle Finn. Finn, a couple of doubles today to go along with a strikeout. Doubled in the first, doubled in the 6th. Came around to score in the 6th inning as well. The Sasquatch put up 2 runs. Threatened to put up more, but couldn't mount a rally against Ty Volmer, who came into the ball game. Did a good job, allowed a couple inherited runners from Logan Lathrop, but none of his own. 2 away. Hudanich gets Finn to fly 1 into right field. Long run for Jackson. He's headed towards the line. It's going to fall fair and in front of Kenny Jackson. Not the hardest hit ball off the bat of Kyle Finn, but it does the job as Ben Green will go to third. And the Sasquatch, with back-to-back singles in the 7th inning, have runners on the corners with 2 men out. And Javier Marcial will bat here in the 7th inning. 7 runs the Sasquatch need. It chipped away in the 6th. Got a shutdown inning from Julio Romero, who retired the Spuds in order in the top of the 7th inning, and now they'll try to chip away with some runs in this 7th. Marcial's a good guy to have at the plate with how hot of a bat he has been swinging. No hits today, but he has been on base, so a 9-game hitting streak has turned into, at minimum, it'll be a 10-game on-base streak. He's 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning and stranded at third base. Batting close to .400 over his last 9 games. Goes after the first pitch, pops it up, headed towards the Sasquatch dugout. It'll go foul. Off the covering over on our first base side. Strike 1 to Marcial. .341 batting average for Marcial in June. Over .300 once again in July. Entered today with a .282 batting average. Looked bleak at the beginning of the year where he was 0 for 19 in May. But he has turned it around. I remember talking with head coach Justice Scott early in the year about his struggles. He said it was only going to be a matter of time before he figured it out. And those hard hit balls he was getting at the beginning of the year started to find outfield grass. They have. and his bat has been a huge presence in the Sasquatch order down the stretch. Slotted himself into the everyday role in right fields, trying to come through with an 0-2 count against Bryce Hudanich. Green at third and Finn at first. Spud still leading by 7. Marcial on 0-2. Fouls it off. Sasquatch put together really good 2 at-bats over the first 3 games of this series. They did not strike out often. They've only struck out 4 times today. Spud's pitchers have had a tough time putting Sasquatch hitters away. Always a battle in this series, as it has to be, with one of the best teams as your opponent. 0-2. 1-2. It's Marcial with a good eye. Marcial showed off a little bit of the clutch gene out in Fremont when he came in as a pinch hitter, hit a game-tying 2-run home run in a game the Sasquatch would ultimately win in extra innings, thanks to great pitching from Jordan Bowman, and of course the game-tying home run from Marcial. The 1-2. That drops in there, 4-strike 3. The breaking ball locked up Marcial, and he goes down looking to finish off the 7th. Sasquatch threaten, but do not score, and we head to the 8th inning with Casper leading 11-4.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Top of the 8th, Kenny Jackson will lead off against Julio Romero. It'll be Jackson, Phillips, and Burke. 3, 4, 5 in the Casper order against Julio Romero, and maybe a chance for Romero to do a little bit of what Cole Krieber did a couple nights ago. Pitched the final 3 innings. Krieber pitched the final 4 innings of that loss in Game 1 of this series. But if Romero can work through these final 3 games, save a little of the bullpen for that big series against Fremont. Of course, no Torpy, no Bobo today. Wouldn't see them at this point in a 7-run ball game anyway. Give those guys an opportunity to come in against Fremont in games the Sasquatch will have to win. Jackson fouls it off. 0-2. A good inning in the 7th for Romero. He retired 9, 1, and 2 in the order. The pinch hitter Henderson, Quasius, and then Baracani. Jackson, another multi-hit effort, 3 hits today. 3 for 4 day for Kenny Jackson. Fastball just misses, 1-2. Jackson, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored today. He's hit 2 home runs in this series as well. Moved up to the 3rd spot in the order today. Two and 2. inside, full count. Well, with 3 hits today, Kenny Jackson is now 8 for 12 in this series against the Sasquatch. He was 5 for 10 coming into today. 2 home runs. He's put together a great 4-game set, and he looks at a pitch outside. First 2 strikes and then 4 straight balls from Julio Romero. Free pass for Kenny Jackson to begin the 8th. That'll bring up Josh Phillips, another guy who's been great in this 4-game series. 2 home runs. And with a couple more RBIs today, he has driven in a bunch in this now 4-game series. 7 RBIs to go along with 4 runs scored in just a 4-game span. And on the season, 10 home runs. Half of those have come against the Sasquatch, just under half at 4. 6 straight have missed the zone from Julio Romero as the count moves to 2-0. Speed at first in Kenny Jackson. Up by 7 though. Might not see him go. Three and 0. Chase Burke on deck. Grounded towards the hole. Gonzalez dives, he can't get it. Jackson will stop at second base. Another hit for Josh Phillips. He singles through the right side. And the Spuds have first and second with nobody out. Here's Chase Burke. Burke on base 3 out of 4 times. Fielder's choice, error, and a 2-run triple. He did ground out in the 3rd inning, the only time he was retired. Burke comes up empty on the first pitch. No balls and a strike to the center fielder. Good defensive center fielder from what we've seen in this series as well. Of course, having good speed helps you a lot. Track down balls in the gap, which he has done. He's made a lot of nice plays on the run in the outfields. Both runners go on the 0-1 pitch. It's high, and the throw to third is going to get past Bachman. Kenny Jackson will stop at third. Phillips stole second as well. Double steal. Moves them both into scoring position against Romero. One and 2. In on the hands, Romero fields it, and they'll go to first to get Burke. Runners were caught up. Second and third, Phillips and Jackson didn't know where to go. Romero was thinking to go 1 the whole way. He does get the out at first. Both runners stay put. 1 away, and a pair remain in scoring position for Dylan Schlotterbeck. Well, Schlotterbeck, no RBIs yet to this point, but a chance to pick up a few here with 1 swing of the bat. He's 1 for 2 today, 51 RBIs on the year, most in the ILB. Looking to tack on 52 and 53, and it's into right field to at least get 52 as it drops in front of Marcial. Jackson will score. They're going to hold Phillips at third. There is RBI number 52 on the summer for Dylan Schlotterbeck. RBI base hit, and the Spuds tack on another here in the 8th. Comes the shortstop, Chandler Stocking. A perfect name for today's theme at the ballpark. Christmas in July, the last name Stocking writes itself. His first pitch misses to the shortstop, ball 1. Of course, it's also National Intern Day, and we were hoping to be able to show you some of our graphics of each of our interns, but doesn't appear we'll be able to do that. So over these final 2 innings, I'll just shout out the interns for the job that they do. There's a caught stealing at second base as Dylan Schlotterbeck tried to swipe second. He's caught for only the second time this year, and both of them have been against the Sasquatch. Thrown out trying to move into scoring position for the second out of the inning. 2 outs and a runner on third, and now I'm less excited to share the information because you don't want to start something with 2 outs. One swing of the bat could end the inning. Pitch is high, 2-1. Spuds tacked on another run in the inning. Kenny Jackson's already come home to score. Josh Phillips stands over at third. Romero trying to work through a second frame. Looped into right. Marcial coming on. He'll call off Gonzalez and make the catch. Inning over. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Casper leads this one 12-4.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear.
Human Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be.
So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes. At our clinic locations throughout the region. And at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us. Working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger. Getting better. Getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Here for whatever moves you.
Bottom of the 8th, Jordan Bowman, Micah Coleman, and Jake Dempsey going up against Bryce Hudanichu's still out there for the Spuds. First pitch, ball 1. Over the course of this half inning, I'll just shout out our entire intern staff one by one for the amazing work that they do. Just go down the list of names here for all the amazing work that our intern staff does behind the scenes celebrating National Intern Day. Abby Halpin is our on-field host and personality. Intern. If you ever come out here to the ballpark, she is our host down on the fields. Don't get to see her much on the games if you're only watching on the live stream, but she does an amazing job here as our in-game host, runs all the games, plans well, and she's also a fellow Yankee fan. I can share my sorrow in what's been a great last 2 months for the Yankees. We've got Cyril Joseph, who is our events and PR intern, but he also runs the music here at the ballpark, so he's our DJ, so to speak, at the ballpark. All the music you hear is courtesy of him here at the stadium. We've got Tori Noseworthy as our social media intern, so everything you see on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the TikToks, That's all courtesy of the work that she does, always coming up with great ideas for new trends and to keep up with what's going on, what's popular. She does an amazing job filming all of that and coming up with the creative ideas. Sean Walfelt is our photography intern, so all the photos you see, that's all courtesy of him here at the ballpark. Does a great job also helping out behind the scenes with our field work as well. We'll get to the guys that do the majority of that in just a moment. It's a full count here to Bowman, and a swing and a miss. Out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th. Moving on down the list, Kenny Gable is our game day ops intern. She is about as hardworking as it comes. Any problem we ever have here on the broadcast, any problem that any intern ever has, she is there to help solve it. She helps out on the social media side of things. She's just a helping hand anytime you ever need it. She is there. She's run out to center field and fixed our camera a few times. She's worked out running iPads down to get the views that you see of the batters. She's done everything here on the broadcast side and at the stadium. An amazing helping hand in every possible way. As Micah Coleman looks at strike 2, nothing into the count. Landry Overby is our marketing intern, so she helps out a lot behind the scenes with making phone calls, making sure the people that need to be here at the ballpark are here at the ballpark. Also another helping hand here at the stadium when we need it. As this pitch is through the right side, a base hit off the bat of Micah Coleman. That'll be a 1-out single. Jake Dempsey will come up next. We've got Ben Hill, who is our baseball ops intern and also was one of the pitchers here on the Sasquatch. No longer here on the intern staff, had to go home a week early. But, I mean, as I mentioned on the graphic that we were hoping to be able to show on screen, I put him in conversations with Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani. That's about the list of two-way players that Ben Hill joined elite company of, pitching and interning. Pitched on the road even once here at home, and was also a baseball ops intern, helped do the field, track data, work with Blake Bolin, our baseball ops intern, who we'll get to next. Blake Bolin, the other baseball ops intern, helps do the field each and every day, is up here in the press box tracking data and running Game Changer, and also, I think, running the scoreboard out in left center fields. He's here before everybody else and does so much behind the scenes to make the field even playable. If it wasn't for him, wouldn't be possible to even have baseball games going on. We've got Derek Riededa, I think I pronounced that right, out of Switzerland, so his name not as easy to pronounce, but that's how I was told from him. Got that rolling of an R. He's our graphics design intern, so all the things you see on social media that have any sort of Photoshop work done to them, our player of the game graphics, player of the week, starting lineups, promotional nights. Those graphics are all done by Derek. He also helps out here at the ballpark selling with the 50-50 raffle and is one of the first faces you see when you walk into the ballpark. Matthew Gonzalez, or check that, Jake Dempsey looks at a pitch high, counts 2 balls and a strike. Micah Coleman's over at first, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. The last 2 interns we've got here, Natalie Dean is our events and guest services interns, so she works right next to Derek at that front tent if you've ever come to the ballpark. She's probably the first face and voice you hear at that first tent. She also does a whole bunch of work behind the scenes, events and guest services. And then our final intern is the one up here in the booth, my roommate, Stephen Hogenkamp, our video production intern. You hear his name every broadcast at the end of the ball game. Does such an amazing job behind the scenes running our live stream. Everything you see outside of my voice is done by Stephen on the live stream. Pleasure to have him up here in the booth each and every day and delivering this broadcast to you to be able to watch it. So that is our intern group. Of course, it's all run by our owner, Eric Schmidt. So a massive thank you to each and every intern we have on our staff for the work that they do, making this an amazing summer, which is now winding down. Only 3 more games guaranteed this coming weekend. Outside, ball 4. Jake Dempsey walks. Pair of base runners for the Sasquatch in the bottom of the 8th inning as Micah Coleman will go to second. Dempsey reaches. And Matthew Gonzalez, the 8th hitter in the order and second baseman, will come to the plate. Mound visit here as Maddox Henderson will go out to talk with Bryce Hudanich. Strikeout, single, and a walk to begin this bottom of the 8th inning. Hudanich, in now an inning and a third, took over in the 7th inning. He's given up 3 hits, walked just the 1, and that was Jake Dempsey moments ago. He struck out 3 to this point, 38 pitches. Matthew Gonzalez, quiet day today for the second baseman. He's 0 for 3, been swinging a really hot bat, and last time up hit the ball really well out to left field, but he hit it right at Matt Marsick. Resulted in out number 3. Sasquatch threatening with runners on the corners. That was in the 6th inning. He flew out. Looking for a base hit here to keep the rally alive in the 8th. The first pitch from Hudanich is high, ball 1. Well, at this point, the Sasquatch just need base runners. Any way they can get it, they need guys on base. Traffic for Bryce Hudanich. Tying run is well in the hole for the Sasquatch. Not even really a thought at this point. But Hudanich against Gonzalez on a 2-0 count with runners on first and second and 1 away. Missed again. 3-0 with Micah Wallett. 9th spot in the order is due up next. Sasquatch do have Seth Nelson out of the lineup today. Could possibly go to him in a pinch hit situation. Danny Cook out of the lineup as well. Another guy with a great summer at the plate. Both guys possibly could see a time as a pinch hitter today. 4 pitches and a walk to Matthew Gonzalez. So here in the 8th inning, Sasquatch have loaded him up against Bryce Hudanich. And that will be the end of the line for Hudanich. He will depart. He works into this 8th inning, but can't get through it. The bases will be loaded with 1 away, and Micah Wallett, the 9th spot in the order, will come to the plate against the new pitcher when you come back.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
New pitcher in the ballgame, Levi Graham, will work for a 2nd straight inning and for the 3rd time in this series. Been a heavy workload for Graham thus far. 17 1/3 innings pitched on the summer. a 1-0 record, a 5.19 ERA, 1.27 whip, 15 strikeouts, 8 walks, and opponents are batting .222 against him. He'll start by facing Micah Wallett with the bases loaded. First pitch is bounced in the dirt, and now they're hung up on the base paths. Dempsey's able to retreat back to second base, standing up. That could have gotten dangerous there for the Sasquatch. It looked like for a moment Coleman was going to try to come home to score. The last thing you want in this kind of situation is to make it out on the base paths. Got to make Graham work it or earn it on the mound with the work. So he pitched 1 inning last night against the Sasquatch. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. And before that, he pitched 2 2/3 against the Sasquatch on July 22nd. Didn't allow a run. Ball and a strike to Micah Wallett. Got the top of the lineup looming on deck. Seth Nelson has a bat in his hands. Not sure who he would pinch hit for, though, at the top of the lineup, but we could possibly see him as James Batten's going to go out and talk things over with Levi Graham. Well, there's an arm loosening in the bullpen. This has got to just beat a stall to give him a chance. You can tell by the way head coach Batten manages a ball game that he wants to win every single game. Of course, they haven't clinched the best record in the second half, although that really doesn't mean much as the Spuds have already locked up the best record in the league, and they will host the final 3 games, if there are 3 games, of the ILB Championship Series. But with the arm loosening in the bullpen, perhaps this is just a 1 batter call to the pen, as Graham might just face Wallett, and then his day could be done. Ball and a strike, 1 out. 2 balls and a strike. Coleman at third, Dempsey at second, Gonzalez at first. Micah Wallett, who had a big 3-run home run, his first home run of the summer, that came last night, helped get the Sasquatch back in the ball game. They'd ultimately win. Trying to deliver a big hit here, get the Sasquatch back in this one. Brushed off the plate on 2-1, now 3 balls and a strike with nowhere to put him. And Ryan Bachman due up next. Game getting interesting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Looked like the Casper Spuds were going to be able to lock this one down with ease, but struggling to put this one out of the reach of the Sasquatch. 3-1. Blows the fastball by him. Now full count to Wallett. Wallett, a lot of long at-bats for him this summer. The batting average has been raised dramatically over a decent stretch at the plate where he's been batting over 300 over his last couple weeks. Raised his batting average to 264 on the year. A 3-2 pitch. He does not go. It's ball 4. And an RBI walk to the 9-hole hitter, Micah Wallett. That'll score Micah Coleman. Sasquatch bring home their 5th run of the ball game. They keep the bases loaded. And now the top of the lineup, Ryan Bachman, will get an opportunity. Spearfish is making this one interesting. In the first game of this 4-game set, it looked like the Spuds were going to be able to hold it down in the 9th inning, but the Sasquatch brought home 3 runs in that 9th inning. Ultimately ended up losing the game by 3. But they threatened with the tying run on deck in that 9th inning. Sasquatch would love to get back to a similar situation. They've got the bases loaded and the right guy up in Ryan Bachman. The 4th-year man batting over 380 on the year. He's 0 for 4 today. Would love to snap that with a big hit here. He looks at ball 1 off the corner. Ball and a strike to Bachman. 38 games on base every game. Over 100 quality at-bats on the year. Leads the Sasquatch in at-bats and plate appearances. The 1-1 from Graham. Foul tipped into the mitt, 1-2 on Ryan Bachman. The all-time leader in Sasquatch history in hits, RBIs, and runs. Tied for most in history in home runs. On a 1-2. Takes ball 2 to even up the count. Bases full of Sasquatch. Dempsey's at third, Gonzalez is at second, and Wallet's at first. Decent speed on second and third, or first and second, I should say, with Wallet and Gonzalez both relatively fast. The 2-2's on the outside corner, and there is strike three. Bachman strikes out looking for the second time today. And a big strikeout with the bases loaded for Levi Graham as he sets down Bachman on strikes. And now the baton will get passed to Ben Green to try to deliver the big hit. Sasquatch have left 2 runners on base in the 6th inning. They left 2 runners on base in the 7th inning. Trying to avoid leaving the bases loaded here in the 8th. Ben Green to the plate. A 3-hit day for Green. He now with a 3-hit day has 14 multi-hit games and 29 games played on the summer. Behind in the count, 0-2. Green enters today with a .429 batting average with runners in scoring position. That's among the best on the team. He's always found a way with runners in scoring position to get that big hit when the Sasquatch needed him. They need one right here. With the count 0-2 and Levi Graham on the mounds. The base is loaded in the 8th. He stays alive on the fastball. Green has driven in 29 runs this summer. 3 home runs, tied for second most on the team. The outfield and left field playing very shallow. And a swing and a miss. And Graham finishes off the 8th inning with back-to-back strikeouts. He gets Bachman looking and Green swinging, and the Sasquatch leave him loaded in the 8th. Casper, 12-5 through 8. And as we head to the 9th inning, the Squatch 400 coming up here on the field.
Spot on teamwork saves me so much time. I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
In Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
J.J. Neal will take over here in the top of the 9th inning. Neal, 7 1/3 innings pitched this summer. 5 runs, 5 of them earned. His last 2 appearances is where all those runs came in off of him, so he carries a 6.14 ERA into today, but over his first 5 innings pitched and his first 3 outings, he did not allow a run. It's just the last 2 times out against the Owaukee Zap, where he gave up 3 on July 15th and 2 on the 20th. Good strikeout stuff, though. 10 strikeouts in 7 1/3. And most impressively, and what you love from a back-end reliever, is he has not issued a free pass. No walks this summer. Opponents are batting .310 against him. So there is an opportunity to hit him, but he doesn't give away the free pass. In the air left field, that's going to get down for a hit. And Wallett over to try to cut it off. He can't. He slides and it gets past him. Marsick can keep on running. He's going to round second and try for third. The throw is cut off by Gonzalez. It skips away from him. And Marsick's going to wind up all the way at third. See if they give him a triple or more than likely a hit and an error in left fields. That's what it'll be, a single and an error by Wallett. So Marsick will wind up all the way at third base, and the catcher, Maddox Henderson, who came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, he'll bat for the second time today. Henderson came in, popped out to short his first time up. Parker Burt was the starting catcher today. Henderson came over, started taking over duties in the 7th inning. A ball and a strike on Henderson, the 9-hole hitter. So the top of the order, Cody Clausius, due up next against Neal. Fastball by him, 1-2. 12 runs, 14 hits, no errors for Casper. 5 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors for the Sasquatch. 2-2. Sasquatch played really well over the first 3 games of this series. Even though they lost in game 1, they played a really good game, limiting the errors, working good at-bats today. Spuds have looked like the Spuds, and the Sasquatch have struggled to take advantage of the few mistakes that Casper's made, the few opportunities they've had. For example, that one in the 8th inning just a couple minutes ago. Bases loaded, 1 out. And you've got your top 2 hitters at the plate, Bachman and Green. You like your chances there. And 2 straight strikeouts ends that threat. There's a walk to Henderson. Well, I talked about the walks of J.J. Neal. Hadn't issued one. There is the first walk he's issued. It'll make it first and second with nobody out. And we're going to get a pinch hitter here. This will not be Cody Clausius to come to the plate. It'll be Hunter Billingsley who will bat. So Clausius, who's occupied the leadoff spot all 4 games of this series, is lifted here in the 9th inning for Billingsley. This is the DH spot in the field, so to speak, so Billingsley won't have to come in and play defensively. He looks at ball 1. Numbers on the season for Billingsley: .258 batting average, 24 games played. Hit safely in each of his last 3 games played. He's 4 for 10 in that stretch. A ball and a strike. 17 hits on the year for Billingsley, and 15 of them for singles, so mostly a singles guy. Single here would score Marsick from third. 2-1. Casper scored in each frame besides the 1st and the 7th. Scored 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th. 1 in the 8th. They've scattered their offense. No major innings, no huge innings that really let the Sasquatch fall behind in a big way. It was just constantly tacking on 2 and then 2 more and then 3 and then 3 more over those middle frames to jump out to this big lead. Full count to Billingsley. Dawson Barakani, who also came in as a pinch hitter, he's due up next. Fouled away. Three and 2 with runners on the corners. And he locked him up on a fastball inside. Billingsley goes down on strikes. So there's the strikeout stuff that we touched on with J.J. Neal. So he gets Billingsley for the first out, and now Dawson Barakani will come to the plate. Baracani swings first pitch in the air, shallow right center field. Who's going to get it? Gonzalez goes all the way out there from second, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Kenny Jackson. If you could give one player of the series for the Casper Spuds, it's probably Jackson. 3 for 4 day today, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. He's put together a phenomenal series where he's batted over 500 against the Sasquatch in this 4-game stretch. 2 home runs to go along with all those RBIs and runs scored as well. He's been tough to get out for Sasquatch pitching, and he hits one hard to center field. Long run for Green, and he'll make the catch on the run. Another ball scorched off the bat of Kenny Jackson, but it ends up as out number 3. Sasquatch needs 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. They'll send up Finn, Marcial, and Bowman. Last-ditch effort when we come back.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Spot-on teamwork saves me so much time, I haven't spent a single minute in my back office this week. Teamwork simplifies employee communications, scheduling, tip-outs, and payroll. It even syncs with my POS, so I know my data is accurate. All right, tips are out. In fact, teamwork has saved me so much time, I was able to take today off to film this.
Cut! Now remember, you really hate that back office.
As the Spuds have done a couple times this year, they're going to hand the ball to Josh Phillips to try to close this one out. We'll take a look at what Phillips has done this season as a pitcher. 10 innings pitched, he's got a 2-0 record. He does have 1 save as well. 2.70 ERA, a 1.40 whip. 6 strikeouts to 3 walks. Opponents are batting .324 against Phillips so far this year. Obviously, most notably for Phillips is what he does with the bat. The fantastic summer that he has had at the plate, but he has had some appearances as a pitcher, his last of which coming on July 19th against Bison Baseball, where he did not allow a run in 1 inning pitched against them. His very first outing of the summer, and the only time he faced the Sasquatch was back on June 3rd. Pitched a scoreless frame and got the save in that ball game. Sasquatch lost 11-10 that night out in, or actually that one was out here on the 3rd. Kyle Finn to lead off. Finn swings and misses on strike 1. Finn, Marcial, and Bowman are the scheduled 3 to bat. Danny Cook is in the on-deck circle. Looks like he will pinch hit for Marcial. Grounded towards short. Fielded there by Schlotterbeck. Throw across, gets Finn. One up and one down. So that'll bring up Danny Cook. The hit streak ends for Marcial at 9 games. He does not record a hit today, but he does extend an on-base streak to 10 with a hit by pitch that he had in the 6th inning. Day done from Marcial. The Sasquatch down to their last 2 outs, and Danny Cook to bat. He looks at strike one. With a loss today, things are going to get very interesting in the ILB standings. A loss today would have Fremont with the 2nd best record. Fremont would have to win 2 out of 3 to clinch the best record and end up playing the Spuds in the championship game, while the Sasquatch, I think, only need to win 2 out of the final 3 in order to secure their spot over Fremont. But if Hastings wins out and ends up with 33 wins, the Sasquatch would need to sweep the Moo so that they end up with 32 wins on the year. And they would end up defeating or knocking out Hastings, I should say. Cook goes down swinging, and the Sasquatch are down to their final out. Stay tuned as soon as this game is over for the GP Local post-game show. We'll talk a little bit more about the ILB Championship Series and all of those possible scenarios on the post-game show. We'll look ahead to the series against the Fremont Moo, and we'll also recap a series against the Spuds, which will look like it's going to go down as 2 apiece, with the Sasquatch taking the middle 2 and the Spuds taking the 1st and 4th game of this 4-game set. Strike one to Jordan Bowman. Last hope for the Sasquatch against Josh Phillips. Tomorrow night's game will be another 6:05 start here at the ballpark. Sasquatch and Moo going head-to-head. Of course, you can catch the action right here on our YouTube channel. And the Sasquatch are down to their final strike as the count is 1-2. Josh Phillips trying to finish off a 12-5 win for the Spuds. Time was called by Bowman just before Phillips started his delivery. And now here comes the 1-2. And that's strike 3. Bowman down on strikes. And that will do it here at Black Hills Energy Stadium as the Sasquatch fall 12-5 to the Casper Spuds. It ends up as a split, 2 games apiece. The Spuds come into Spearfish. They win the 1st and 4th game of this 4-game set. The Sasquatch do win 2. A much-needed couple of wins for the Sasquatch to help them out in their playoff push. And now, with a loss, the Fremont Moo sit in position. If the playoffs started today, the Moo would be in the playoffs, but of course, the Moo and Sasquatch will start a massive 3-game series tomorrow night. Stay tuned, the GP Local postgame show is coming up when we come back. All that in a few moments.
Be fucking real, man. Come on.
here in this 4-game series between the Sasquatch and the Spuds. The Sasquatch end up winning 2 out of 4, and those were a massive 2 games as Fremont did not lose during this stretch, and neither did the Hastings Sodbusters. So the Sasquatch were able to maintain their spot right there in that playoff hunt by winning 2 out of 4 against the Casper Spuds. A really good 4-game series today. Unfortunately, the worst of those 4 games, but still, these 4 games between the Sasquatch and the Spuds have been amazing, and we hope for the Sasquatch that these are not the last time that these 2 teams play, and that the Sasquatch will get a chance to face off against the Spuds in the ILB Championship Series. Sasquatch with 2 wins in this series end up winning 3 against the Spuds in the regular season, and that's the most that any team has won against Casper this year. No other team has won more than 2 on the summer. The Sasquatch have won 3 times. And now looking ahead to the series against the Fremont Moo. The Moo have 1 more win now than the Sasquatch, and what happens is if the Sasquatch end the season with 1 less win than Fremont, they'll still make the playoffs because of the tiebreaker. So here's how it all shakes out. If the Moo win 2 out of 3 against the Sasquatch, I believe they're in, and they eliminate not only the Sasquatch but also Hastings. The Sasquatch would have to win 2 out of 3 against Fremont to eliminate the Moo. Meanwhile, the Sodbusters are out playing in Nebraska, or they're hosting the Nebraska Prospects, and if the Sodbusters win all 3 of that series, those final 3 games against the Prospects, then the Sasquatch would not only have to win 2 out of 3 to eliminate the Moo, but they'd also have to win all 3 to eliminate the Sodbusters. So, of course, the Sasquatch will have to take care of business. They just got to win the game in front of them, and if they continue to do that over the final 3 games of this series, they'll find themselves in the playoffs. Looking at how those 2 teams matched up, the Moo and the Sasquatch, the first time they met was all the way back in June. The Moo have not come here to Spearfish for any series this summer, so they've only played 4 times. The Sasquatch won 3 out of 4 against the Moo. As we mentioned on the broadcast, the big home run by Marcial to tie the game in the 9th inning and great pitching from Bowman helped them win a game in extra innings, and the Sasquatch were able to take 3 out of 4 out in Fremont. But similarly to the Sasquatch when they hosted the Spuds, these 2 teams are very different from that point. Way back in June, different players, different mentality, and of course it's going to feel like a playoff series on every pitch, with every pitch and every out, every inning being so important for both of those 2 teams. Sasquatch and the Moo will start tomorrow night, 6:05, first pitch. Well, that's it for us here at the ballpark at Black Hills Energy Stadium. For our entire intern staff on National Intern Day, another huge shout out for the amazing work that they all do. For video production intern Stephen Hogenkamp, I'm Ari Wall saying so long. The Spuds win it here tonight on Thursday night. Join us tomorrow at the beginning of the Sasquatch and Moo series.